There we are. Well, good morning, and we have a good turnout today, and we have folks from all across the U.S., from coast to coast. Good morning, and welcome to the Agent Circle Live. We do this every single Friday on now 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and of course 12 p.m. Eastern time. I have to try to kind of process that information here every single time I say this stuff. Anyhow, welcome to the Agent Circle. We have a very special guest today. His name is Rob Stein. Before I get too far into it, I am gonna, as I said, bring Jamie on to actually do the true deep introduction for Rob. But Rob is someone who's a great friend and someone who is very, very accomplished. I'll leave it at that. Today, we're going to be diving a little bit into his coaching platform called Earth to Orbit. Dive really deeply into what this is all about, how it works. There's going to be a lot of information that's going to be shared and dropped today that I promise you, you're going to get very excited about, and then you'll have a really good understanding what this whole program is about today. Okay. With that being said, Jamie, if you can speak, you can go ahead. I'll give you the mic to introduce our friend here, Rob.
Hey guys, I hope it's a lot better out here. I
Much
am
better.
so excited to share that Rob Stein is here. And, Monday was amazing. Mindset Monday. I think I've had the best week I've had all year, starting my week off with Rob. And I am so excited for what he's about to share with us and getting all of us to Power Agent. It's going to be awesome.
Fantastic. All right. With that being said, where is Rob? Rob?
I'm right here. Let's go.
The floor is all yours. You have control of the room. Go ahead. Share all this goodness.
Awesome. Can y'all hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up if the audio is good. Okay, sweet.
Loud and clear.
I have my, I got light camera action, big production studio in the house, and I have an audio interface down here, and I have a little 2.5-year-old girl, and she loves coming in here and just hitting all the buttons and messing with all the dials. So sometimes I'll start a call, and I'm either too loud or too soft. I asked her yesterday, I said, do you know what daddy does for work when he goes into the office? And she says, type. Yep, just type all day, 9 hours, and then leave. Cool. Well, Jay, thank you so much. Jamie, thank you so much. I'll start, gang, with just a quick introduction about myself. Then I want to ask you some questions, get to know who's in the room, and then we're going to dive into Earth to Orbit. So first and foremost, if we could raise the roof, give a virtual hand for Jay and his team, Walter, for organizing this event. This is so awesome to just pour into agents from all over the country. Doesn't matter where you're from, where you're at, what company you're with. It's just all about adding value, and we all really resonate there. And that's why I created Earth to Orbit, which we'll talk about in a sec. But my name's Rob Stein. I live in Leander, Texas, just north of Austin. I'm a proud husband, father, and I am a real estate coach and speaker. I'm also still in production, but for sure I'm focusing on speaking and coaching. I'm the CEO and creator of Earth to Orbit, which is the nation's #1 on-demand training for real estate agents. There are over 2,000 agents currently enrolled and growing. It's literally technology and training never ever been seen before in the real estate industry. I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough as to what it looks like, show you how you can engage with it if you want to. And it's really such a blessing to be able to help so many agents. Who here, when you got your license, learned exactly what you needed to do to be a top producer and make money? No one, right?
No one.
That's why I created Earth to Orbit. When you get your license, you don't learn how to make money. You learn about, let's be real, you learn about stuff that 99% of which has no practical application in your day-to-day. Am I right? Yes? For sure. What year was the civil right thing? Like, that's important to know, but like that your client's never going to be like, I'm going to sign this listening agreement. If you can tell me, what is the daily fine you're going to pay for an advertising violation? Like, there's just like, it's not practical, right? You don't learn. You literally get dropped in the middle of the ocean. No life vest, sharks everywhere. Good luck. See you later. We have an over 80% dropout rate in the first 2 years. Over 80% of agents will not even make it to their first renewal. Out of the agents that stay, the average agent is closing 4 deals a year, which, let's be real, when you got your license, there's probably a certain quality of life you envision for yourself, which does not involve clipping coupons and worrying about money. Even if your goal isn't to be super wealthy, right? We just want consistency. Whether your goal is 10 deals a month or 1 deal a month, you want to know when your head hits the pillow at night, you are a business owner, you've got systems in place, and you're not on this transactional roller coaster. Okay. And what 𝘼𝑗𝑡𝙁 teaches you is how to close at least 30 deals a year without paying for leads. Now, I built my business and climbed my way to the top 5% of agents nationwide in sales volume and income. Then I started a team. Then I opened an independent brokerage, all building to the top 5% in sales volume and income, whether I'm as a team leader and an independent brokerage as well, all through relationships and referrals. I have never, ever paid for a lead. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with paid lead generation. And if you can afford it and you want to invest in it, it can open a lot of doors. However, I think that having a business and a skill set that is founded on relationships and referrals makes you impervious to whatever else is going on. So even last year, like, yeah, it was a lower volume year for me than when, 2020, 21, as it was for a lot of people. But I still was closing on average 4 to 5 deals a month. Just deals coming in, deals coming in. And so when agents say interest rates, no, that's a mindset problem. Because if you had enough people that knew you, liked you, and trust you, you'd still be closing deals. If you knew how to prospect for relationships, how to nurture, how to build your short, medium, and long-term pipeline so that a deal you're closing next weekend is from someone you met a year ago, you would be closing deals every month. And that's exactly what 𝘼𝑗𝑡𝙁 teaches how to do. It's awesome. I'm so excited to share it with you and show you how you can get involved as well. Right now, most recently, I did move my license over to Epique Realty, which I'm super excited about. I know we got agents from all over the place here, but I am very excited to be the founding power coach with Epique Realty and just helping agents all over the country, regardless of brokerage. And I know there's a lot of excitement about 𝘼𝑗𝑡𝙁, and a lot of people are here like, I can't wait. What is it? So we're going to be diving into that today a little bit. First thing I want to know real quick, I want you to type in the chat. Type in the chat, where are you from? Where you're tuning in from right now. California, Houston, Stacy, what's up? Good to see you again. We got Stacy, Dwayne, repping it. Let's go. Austin, no, no, you're in Austin too. You could be hanging out. Let's go. San Antonio, Shreveport. I was just in San Antonio doing some coaching. Alabama, Missouri. We got all over. Austin. Okay, we got a lot of people in Austin that I haven't met yet. So Jamie, let's make sure we facilitate a hangout. We got to get this going. Awesome. New Orleans, I used to be a jazz trumpet player professionally, so I have a special place in my heart for New Orleans. My favorite trumpet player in the world lives in New Orleans. Okay, awesome. We got people from all over the place. Now I want you to type, how many years have you been an agent? Ballpark, how long have you been an agent? We got a lot of participation. 18, 22, 7, 30, 1.5, 3. Woo, we got 0 years. 1, 1.5, 8. Man, this is awesome. There is a whole waiting for my license. You're in the right place, Sherry. Let's go. Cool. Okay, an agent for 3, real estate about 20. Sounds like Melissa maybe started out in investing. 18. So we got the whole range of people in here. That's awesome. Okay. Now what I want you to do real quick is type, what is the biggest thing that is holding you back? What is the biggest thing that if you said, if I could really get a handle on this aspect of my mindset or my business or my generation or conversion or finances or whatever, I would be unstoppable. Not having a system, finding clients, time, mindset, time control, myself, rejection, leads, CRM automation, fear of success. The real answer, myself, routine, follow-up, social media management, time, no systems in place, lack of not having a funnel, leads, CRM, not calling my database, following up, fear of messing up. Okay. Lack of systematic, consistent action. Yep. Cool. And these are all super valid and all super common, right? I've had the honor of coaching literally and speaking to over 20,000 people and 400 different companies over my career. And no matter if I'm speaking to a room of 10 people or 62 people or 500 people, these answers are all very common. And I'm going to give you just a little bit of mindset coaching right now. because I love mindset coaching. It's my favorite. I have Mindset Monday calls every single Monday. And then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of Earth to Orbit here. Okay. It is completely normal to have these fears. Everybody has them. And I think there's a huge misconception, large in part from social media, that we as entrepreneurs, as agents, feel that we are always supposed to be super motivated, super fulfilled. And if you're not, ask your doctor if this depression pill is right for you, because there's got to be something wrong with you, right? That is completely not true. A lot of that is on social media. Everyone's posting the picture, right? I'm sure we're all the same, right? You post the picture of the big T, closing day. Let's go. Client's super happy. Oh, congrats to my client. How many of you have ever posted a photo when the deal just fell through, your head's in your hands, you have no idea where your next deal's coming from, you're on the verge of tears, and you're wondering if you made a huge mistake with your career? Who makes a post at that time? One person, right? I do some videos at that time too, to give a real transparent look to what the entrepreneur roller coaster is like. But guess what? We all go through it. But because we don't really talk about it that much, we feel like we're always supposed to be fulfilled, motivated, crushing it no matter what. It is normal to have these fears, and it's okay to have these fears. Don't feel like there's something wrong with you for having them. What's not okay is to let these fears, however, stop you from taking action. When you might see an agent or an entrepreneur that you say, wow, this person must have some like X factor. You ever think that? Like, this person just has something I don't. They're blessed with it. I'm not. Not true. We all have the same fears. The only difference is that the ones that get it done and the successful people take action anyway. They take action anyway. One of the concepts I'm talking right now on my Mindset Monday call is the concept that I've kind of discovered and constructed of the 4 fears, because fear of failure, or just fear in general, is too wide and deep of a term. And I've broken it down into fear of imperfection, fear of the unknown, fear of judgment, fear of success, fear of sacrifice. Those are all things that really get in the way. But the reality is, every single one of these problems, number one, can be completely overcome with the right education. And I'm telling you, like, literally every single one of these is solved in Earth to Orbit. I teach you literally the step-by-step blueprint for everything here. Earth to Orbit took over 2 years and $150,000 of production to create. It's literally the step-by-step blueprint. Teaches you the what, the how, and the accountability to get it done. As we're getting into the demo here, let me ask, have you ever been to maybe a real estate coaching or a seminar or something, and you leave and you're super pumped? You're like, yeah, that guy, that gal, man, I'm ready. How do I do that? Right? Like, you're super pumped, but they didn't really give you the blueprint to say, now, how are you going to do this thing? Or they might say, you do open houses, you're going to crush. And you're like, yeah. Like, what's the blueprint for that though? Like, what exactly do I say in the right order with the right vocal inflection at the right time to set an appointment with them by the time they leave? You didn't tell me that part. I tell you that part. It is literally the step-by-step blueprint. So I want to assure you that all of these things can be solved. But as we're about to go into the demo, I'm going to give you one final piece of mindset coaching before we get into it. Okay. Your job to overcome any of these things I see in the chat, write this down, is to get first the blueprint. Okay. If you were to look at my YouTube channel or the title of my book that's coming out in a couple months, it's called Impossible to Fail, because I truly believe it is impossible to fail with the following formula. And this is what I need you to understand as we go into the demo. In order to overcome or accomplish anything, whether it's real estate or anything, step one is you get the blueprint. There are 2 qualifications for the blueprint. Number one, the blueprint has to come from someone that has done exactly what you're trying to do. So if you want to learn how to be a crushing real estate agent and never pay for a lead again, learn from someone that's done that, right? If I was to go learn how to be an electrical engineer, I would want to learn from an electrical engineer. If I'm going to get really good at, basketball, I'm going to hire a basketball coach. Someone that's that they've done what you're trying to do. Number two, and just as important, whoever you're getting this blueprint from needs to have a great track record of teaching others how to get the same results. And that's oftentimes overlooked because we think because this person might be really successful at this thing, they must be really good at teaching others. And that's not true, right? I have a master's in education. I've been in education, right? How many of you have ever had a bad teacher? Everybody. Chances are they were probably pretty skilled at the thing they were teaching, but just weren't really good at teaching how to do it. And I've been a victim of that for sure. So the blueprint, again, has this person done what you're trying to do? Do they have a great track record of teaching others? In this instance, if we're talking about Earth to Orbit, have I done exactly what you're trying to do? Yes. Do I have a great track record of teaching others, literally thousands of agents all over the country, how to do the same thing? Yes. Have I had agents make great six-figure incomes, quitting their jobs full-time, duplicating the same results, crushing it, starting teams? Yes, 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 yes. So once you got the blueprint covered, here's the three things that you need. Number one, you implement the blueprint with massive action. Number two, relentless consistency. And number three is time. And all three of these things must be in place. Let me give you an example. I'm going to share my screen here, and I know Jay gave me the screen sharing permissions. Okay, so look at this. Starts with the blueprint that needs to be implemented with massive action, relentless consistency, and time. But all three of those things need to be in place. As an example, you might have the blueprint, like you might enroll in Earth to Orbit, but if you don't take action on any of it, obviously you're not going to accomplish anything. Number two, what if you take action on it, but you're not super consistent with it? Well, for sure, you're not going to accomplish your goals. What if you take action on it and you're super consistent, but you've only been doing it for 3 days? Not enough time to build the mastery through repetition. But if you have the right blueprint and you take action, you're relentlessly consistent, you give it enough time, it is impossible to fail. So I just want to give you the confidence on this call that whether it's your follow-up, whether it's not having a system, whether it's lead generation, whether it's time management, you can get the blueprint to learn how to do all of those things, but you are the one that must implement it and perfect it and protect that time and commit yourself to learning that skill set. So even if you engage to Earth to Orbit, which a lot of you are or are about to, what you have is now the guaranteed shortest path to success. Like for sure, you do these things, it's proven it's going to work. But then you need to do the work. And it's still challenging, but the beautiful thing is once you get it done and you're in orbit, life is good. So let me show you what that looks like, and then we're going to give a little demo here. So I call it Earth to Orbit because I like the analogy that launching a real estate career is like launching a rocket into space. It is the hardest part of the journey. It's the hardest thing to do. But my goal is to get you in orbit. So think about who can relate to like any of these words. When you're in orbit, you're floating around in space, right? It's all good. You should be closing consistently. Whatever that is for you, 1 deal a month, 3 deals a month, 10 deals a month, consistently. You feel confident. You are not stressed. You are completely content with your financial situation. I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you to raise your hand, but you do need to be asking yourself right now, do I resonate with any of those words? Now, when you're in gravity, that's when you are inconsistently closing. That's when you are overwhelmed. And you might even not know why you're overwhelmed. Literally right before this, I had a one-on-one coaching session with one of my one-on-one coaching students. And she was saying, I'm feeling really overwhelmed. And like, I kind of know why, but there's also some aspect to it where I feel like my head's barely above water. And I'm not sure really what's contributing to that. You're stressed and you feel like you're not making enough money. So think about which one of those can you really relate to. The goal is to get you into orbit by implementing these systems to where you have your foundation built. And once you're in orbit and you're just floating around in space. That's when the referrals are coming in, the systems are in place, automations are happening, emails, texts, follow-ups being sent out in your sleep, and the deals are coming in. The most important thing you have to realize, and if you left this call with like one thing, this needs to be it. The speed of implementation is the important thing. Go ahead in the chat, and I want everyone to type speed of implementation. Everyone type that in the chat right now so you start getting it in your brain. Speed of implementation. If we were live, I would say go ahead and say that, but we're all typing. So you can go ahead and right here, you see speed of implementation. That's what we're talking about. This is how you get better at things. And this is literally the formula to success, okay? It starts with an idea. So for example, if you're in Earth to Orbit and you're getting ideas on time management, protecting your time, not feeling overwhelmed, not reacting to things happening in your all day, nailing down your perfect week schedule so you know exactly what you're doing, when you're doing it, why you're doing it. You take action on that idea, you implement it, you stick to it, and then you start getting results. So you might get the idea and you take action and you say, all right, I'm creating the schedule. I'm going to stick to it. Holy smokes, this was the most productive day I've ever had. Now, what if I really did this, and this is my business? How far could I go now? That's a new idea. You take action on that idea. You get new results, and around you go, and you keep getting into orbit. But this right here, gang, the speed of implementation. Speed of implementation is the sole determining factor on how quickly you will continue to excel. How many of you have ever said, I know there's this thing I got to do, but I'm not going to do it yet because I don't know enough about it. I'm not going to do it perfectly. I'm a little scared. I got to learn more. Oh, it's coming. I'm a perfectionist, but once I get started on this thing, you just wait, right? The truth is that when people tell me, Rob, I'm a perfectionist, you don't get it. I'm a perfectionist. What they're really saying is I'm a procrastinator. Because the truth is that perfection can only be achieved through repetition. You can get really, really good at something through lots of repetition. Sorry, Carmen, mic drop. That's how it is. That's how I am. I'm going to be super positive, super motivating. I'm also going to be super real. Okay, but it's true, and you know it, right? Think about a skill that we all have it. Think about a skill that you are really good at, like really good at. You all have one. Whatever it is. Could be in business, could be in personal, right? Could be anything from doing yoga to shooting guns. Like, it doesn't matter. A skill set you're really good at. Were you really, really good at that thing the first time you did it? Of course not. How did you get good at it? By doing it over and over and over and over and over again. So if you really cared about getting good at something, you would not let the fear get in the way, because you would realize, I know I'm not going to be good at this thing right away, but the more I do it, the better I'm going to get. So if I really care about being a perfectionist, I'm going to get as many reps of this thing in as I can, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to achieve perfection. I mean, how many of you, I know I have, how many of you, if you've been in the industry long enough, you'll probably raise your hand, have ever had like the perfect transaction, the perfect buyer consult, the perfect negotiation, not leading a perfect life, but like a singular perfect thing that couldn't have been better? It happens sometimes, but that's only after you develop the mastery through lots and lots of repetition. And the only way to do that is to move quickly. So I say that to say, like, for those of you that have Earth to Orbit, are going to get it, are going to think about investing in it, or maybe you're part of Epique Realty where everyone's going to get it for free, it's here for you. But you're not going to get results if you don't move fast. And the only difference, like Ed Mylett, I love Ed Mylett. If you never heard of him, read his books, follow him on YouTube. He's amazing, right? He says that high performers have a lower threshold for the information we think we need to know to take action on something. So I know when someone's like a lower performer, when they see the demo of Earth to Orbit, and I'm like, how confident are you out of a scale of 1 to 10 that this is what you need? They're like, oh, 10 for sure. I'm like, cool, you ready? And they're like, nah, I don't know. You did just say 10 out of 10, right? Yeah. And you don't have any deals right now, right? No. So what's the problem? I really just got to make sure that, right? I tell them, like, you know what? Don't save your money. It's not going to work out, because I know they're not going to do anything with it. When I'm doing a demo with someone and I'm halfway through it, they're like, stop, I'm ready. I'm like, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be fine. Right? Stacey Hernandez, she was like that. Right? When we were checking it out, she was like, I'm ready. Don't show me anymore. I'm in. Okay. Dwayne, same thing. Jamie, same thing. So I just wanted to, that took a little more time than I wanted to, but I did want to pour into you on the mindset a little bit, just to make sure you know, like, whatever your goal is, take action on it. You're going to get better, but don't let fear stop you. Be freaking relentless. Now, if you like this type of coaching, this type of motivation, every single Monday, I do a Mindset Monday call for everyone. If you happen to be part of Epique Realty, that call is company-wide. If you're in another brokerage, then get into Earth to Orbit, because I do an Earth to Orbit Mindset Monday call every Monday as well. Mindset, motivation, accountability. It's awesome. So without further ado, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are like, I'm excited about Earth to Orbit. What is it? So let me show you. Let me show you. Here we go. Now, if you were to go to earth-to-orbit-training.com, which is the main website for the course, you will see all about it. You can watch this video on why I made it. You can see where it's been featured, learn more about me, see all sorts of amazing success stories from agents all over the country, watch some live videos of me coaching, doing my thing, testimonials from agents, screenshots of agents crushing it, everything that's included with it, all the different things you're going to learn, as well as some pricing on the bottom. But what I'm going to do is actually give you some insight to the back end. Okay. And if you're an agent in Epique, that's great. You're going to get it for free. If you're not an agent in Epique, don't worry, because I'm going to give you a sweet discount for being on this call. Okay. Now, if you were to log into Earth to Orbit, boom, here's exactly what it looks like. Now, this system is a very unique system, and that's why it took 2 years and over $150,000 of investment to develop this incredible training that's literally never before been used in real estate training. And if you see me looking up, if you've ever seen me on social, you probably see my office. I have a big TV up here. So I'm moving all of your faces up here so I can see the screen below. And actually, I do need to make sure that with my screen share, I need to share the sound, which is what I didn't do before. So here we go. So when you log into Earth to Orbit, this is what you see. And if you're part of Epique Realty, yours is going to look a little bit different, but it's going to be the same content. The training center is where all of the training lives. So 99% of the time, gang, you're going to click this training center, go right into the training center, and that's where you're going to take all the courses. Mindset Monday. Again, I run a Mindset Monday motivation call. And if you're part of Epique, you're going to tune in at 9 a.m. Central. If you're part of the Earth to Orbit community, you're going to tune in at 10 a.m. Central. We do mindset, motivation, accountability, where I preach on mindset for about 30 to 40 minutes. Then we actually go into breakout rooms in a small group of other Earth to Orbit members, accountability partners, and you're keeping each other accountable. Did you accomplish your goals? Why? Why not? What are you going to do this week? Come on, let's go crush. Let's go get it. And you're keeping each other accountable. Because anyone ever seen Office Space, that movie? Right? Got a case of the Mondays. We can't have a case of the Mondays as entrepreneurs. It's Monday. Who's got my money? Where's my next deal? Let me follow up with these leads 100 miles an hour right away, out the gate. So we start off every Monday on fire. Now, we also have Tuesday group coaching. And if you invest in the higher levels of membership like Gold, Platinum, or Diamond, you have access to the Tuesday group coaching call, which is awesome. It's run by my certified coaches. It's kind of like one-to-one and group coaching hybrid. So you come in with questions as to what do you need in your business? Like, are you having trouble with lead generation? Are you getting the same objection you can't overcome? Are you trying to use my action benefit commitment script, but you can't get to the finish line? So basically you come on, get coached every single Tuesday. We also have a Slack channel for Gold, Platinum, and Diamond members that you can get coached on literally 24/7 anytime you want. There's the File Vault. There are hundreds of downloadable resources for Earth to Orbit, from scripts, objection handlers, business planning spreadsheets, pre-client meeting surveys, and more, transaction roadmaps. Everything that can be downloaded is in the File Vault. It is the vault of files. And then there's also access to a members-only Facebook page. You can access it right here. You can scroll down here to see your report card, your certifications, because as you complete courses, you do get certifications in like lead generation, lead conversion, open house mastery, script mastery. You can see your usage report, see your report card, help keep each other accountable. If you happen to be a team leader, you can even assign training to your team members and see their progress. It's awesome. Do you have any team leaders in the house? Yeah, that's going to be really helpful if you're a team leader. So it's amazing. I'm going to give you more time to explore it on your own later, but what I want to do now is go into the training center. So this is what the course looks like when you go into the training center. Now, Earth to Orbit teaches you three things, okay? It teaches you the what, the how, and the accountability. I have found most real estate speakers and coaches are really good at the what and leave a lot to be desired in the how. And this is literally like the step-by-step blueprint of the how. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the what, the how, and the accountability. I'm going to take 2 minutes to show you what is included in Earth to Orbit. What are you going to learn? So on the left side of the screen, we have what are called categories. And then all of the cards to the right of that category are courses. And in every course, there are numerous chapters. Now, who here got their real estate license online? It was probably pretty boring, wasn't it? Right? It was like information, but it was all like literally just multiple choice questions that you read. There is 0 of that in Earth to Orbit. Every single chapter of every single course of every single category is a highly produced interactive video that was filmed in a professional studio in 4K with sick audio, sick visuals, and it looks amazing. It's a lot of fun to interact with. There's no boring text, next, 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 none of that. So when you log into Earth to Orbit for the first time, you're going to take the introduction course, teaches you how to use it. Now, the rest of the course is locked because I need you to go through the intro so you learn how to use it. But once you finish the intro, everything is unlocked for you. And that's really important because real estate is not sequential. Like if you do it right, you're going to be going through the mindset, and then you're going to host your first open house. Then you're going to get a buyer rep, and you got to go down and look at how to work with your buyers. So you can bounce around depending on what's most interesting to you. I don't force you to go through the course in a certain roadmap. You can say, what is the thing I want to learn about the most right now? Because all of you might want to go to follow-up. If you said follow-up, you're going to want to scroll down to the follow-up blueprint. If you said protecting my time, you're going to want to go to creating your schedule. If you said, hey, I don't have a business plan, you want to go there. If you said, I don't know how to do open houses, you'd want to go there. So you can make your way around. Now, the first course is the laying the foundation, mindset and money. Just like you got a foundation of the house, right? You can't frame a house in the dirt. So we talk about the foundational aspects, the bulletproof mindset, how to understand the concepts of success and failure, because as entrepreneurs, we know what we define as success and failure is usually different than what non-entrepreneurs define as success and failure, right? You like that? Non-entrepreneur? I made that one up. It's in the book. Okay. Then we have business planning. Your business plan as an agent cannot be, I want to sell houses and make money as much as I can. That's not a business plan, y'all. Okay. We need to have numbers. We need to have KPIs. We need to know how many conversations, ratio to appointment, ratio to rep agreements, ratio to closings, right? How many deals do you need to close? What are your numbers? How much money do you need to make? How much money do you want to make? Like, we need to know those numbers. Teach you how to do that. You can't hit a bullseye if there's no target. And most agents, that's what they're doing. They put on a blindfold, they spin around, and they run in a direction. You need to have a target. Then a lot of you, even if you didn't type this in the chat, I bet most of you, like, raise your hand if you kind of feel overwhelmed during the day. You feel like you're reacting all day. You're responding to emails, texts, but you're like not super in control of your time. Well, that's what you learn in creating your schedule. How do you create the perfect schedule? How do you protect that time, get systems implemented, and use technology and like calendar apps and focus modes to make sure that you are in control of your time? You'll be amazed at how much stress is completely eliminated when you're in control of your time. Next, we teach you the most common agent pitfalls, right? How to, you're afraid to ask for business because you don't want to sound salesy. You're voluntarily discounting your commission when you haven't even been asked to. How do you, someone says, how long have you been doing this? And you're a new agent. and you give the worst new agent objection handler ever, which is in here. Like, don't do that stuff, gang. Let me teach you how to avoid those things, okay? Now, mastering the language of real estate with scripts. When people say to me, Rob, I want to be an agent because I just love talking to people, my response is usually you're probably going to have a hard time closing deals because you just want to have a nice chat and you refuse to learn the language of sales. There is a scientifically proven language to bring people to a sales decision. In this case, you're selling yourself. You're selling them on the prospect of working with you. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to be cold or robotic or not care about them or not ask them personal questions. No, but it means how are you going to learn how to build rapport and relationship in a methodical way that you always get the same results. That's what we teach you. From the basics to the ABC script, the action benefit commitment script, lead conversion, open house, cold calling, objection handlers, even an interactive phone call simulator, which I'll show you in a minute. We got the meat and potatoes, or if you're a vegetarian, the tofu and mushrooms, the free methods of lead generation. My 10 proven methods of free lead generation, where you see how to do it right, how to do it wrong, how am I and my agents closing deals. We have real transaction case studies with every single method of free lead generation to show you, hey, here are deals I've closed using these methods. Here's a picture of the client. Here's a picture of the house. Here's all the stuff I went through on this deal. And it worked because of this. So you see, hey, this is how it works, like in the trenches, in real life. Follow-up blueprint. You got to know how to follow up. You got to know how to nurture. Now, personally, I built my business on open houses. I think they're the best free way to get leads. I'm so systematized at it that I created a whole separate course at it. I have a brokerage that I'm working with that's using 𝘖𝘳𝙤𝙤. And there's an agent there that's been doing open houses for 6 months and literally never got a client. She took my open house course and the next weekend got a client. That's how quickly it works. It's just do it the same way every time. You get the same results. You learn how to work with buyers, sellers, new construction, investors, and renters. Some of you might be newer. And if you're like, hey, I got my first listing, but I'm super nervous because I don't know what to expect. Hey, I have an investor that wants to do something called a 1031 exchange. I have no idea what that is. Literally teaches you how to work with every type of client. How to build a referral-based business, because once you start closing deals, you should be getting referrals from those people. How do you prospect for relationships? I've never cold call. I did cold calling for a little bit, but like, I don't like doing it, right? So you don't have to. You don't have to pound the phones. You can spend all day talking to people that want to talk to you and build your business that way. Here's how to do it. All my favorite systems, and this is always being added to, systems I use to automate, systematize my business, scale my income without scaling my time. And then we're starting to build out affiliated business interviews and a recommended reading list. So that's the what. So as you can see, there's literally no stone unturned here. And new content is now being filmed and going to be added on a regular basis, which you're always going to have access to as long as you're in. Okay? So that's the what. That's the what. Now I'm going to take a few minutes. Is this cool, by the way? Are you guys like, yeah, show me more? Good, good, good. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is the how. Now there are 5 different ways that the content of 𝘖𝘳𝙤𝙤 is conveyed to you. And the best, most fun way is what I'm going to start with, which is the interactive nature. So what I'm going to do is show you the first 2 minutes of the first course that you would take, which is the intro course. And in that 2 minutes, you're going to see the production value, you're going to see the interactivity and why this is so engaging and why this has quickly scaled to the #1 training for real estate agents. So the first thing, gang, is this is what a course looks like. And all of these chapters are videos. Now, every course has a little 20-second overview. So this says, hey, what are you going to learn here? Welcome to 𝘖𝘳𝙤𝙤. Watch these introduction chapters to get an overview on the course, the 𝘖𝘳𝙤𝙤 platform, and all of the continued support I provide. When you finish the intro series, you'll unlock the rest of the program and we'll be ready for launch. So now you know what to expect. Let's watch the first 2 minutes that you're ever going to see. There are 3 reasons I will so confidently declare that 𝘖𝘳𝙤𝙤 is the best, most powerful course ever created for real estate agents. First is the sheer amount of incredibly detailed content in here. I'm teaching you everything you need to know about every aspect of being an agent. When you have a question about how to work with clients, deal stages, mindset, business, anything at all, just log in because the answer is here waiting for you. But world-class content and education is only the first piece of the puzzle, because the best online course in the world can only reach its maximum potential if it's on the best platform available. And that's exactly what you get with 𝘼𝑗ℎ𝑡𝑜�RBIT. We have truly created the Rolls-Royce of training platforms, and you'll see why as you work through the course. And third, you'll thrive here because of the continued support that we provide. You've already received these details in your onboarding email, but there's nothing quite like the interactive nature of the 𝘼𝑗ℎ𝑡𝑜�RBIT platform to explain the value. So click each topic for an overview, and when you're ready to move on, hit continue, and I'll see you in the next video. You can see it looks awesome. There's no recorded Zoom calls here. And here's the cool part. You're still in the video right now, and you can choose how you want to interact with it. So let's say you want to learn more about the platform. When you log into the platform, you'll land on your home screen. Take a minute to click on each content card and watch the Learn More explainer videos for a 15-second overview on each topic. One of my favorite features is the ability to take notes right in the 𝘼𝑗ℎ𝑡𝑜�RBIT platform while you're watching a video. Then at any time you can access all of your notes right here on the home screen by clicking the Notes tab. Our platform is incredibly powerful and has so many outstanding features, so be sure to take just a few minutes to learn your way around. You can see it looks great. It's fun to watch. Every couple minutes you're engaged. So that's just the intro. I'll show you one more example of the interactivity. After every single chapter, there is a knowledge check. Sometimes it's a live interactive, sometimes it's a sorting, sometimes it's a multiple choice. So if we were to go to the community groups, because one of my favorite ways is community groups, your gym, your church, your yoga class, your sports league, where are there people that you should be in a community with getting referrals from? So let's say you've already taken the hour-long community groups course, and now we're going to check your knowledge. Watch this now. Let's check your knowledge on maximizing community groups, because this will be one of your best sources of clients. First question, what are the best practices for attendance? So this is as close to simulating a live coaching session as possible. I'm standing there, I'm blinking, I'm waiting for you to answer. So type in the chat real quick, A, B, or C. What are the best practice for attendance, right? Let's say you're going to the gym, you're going somewhere where there's a community group. Should you A, go at different times to try to meet more people? B, should you go at the same times to meet less people but form better relationships with them? Or C, don't worry about it, they'll always be there next time. What do we think? B, 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 B. Okay, we got a lot of B's. Good. Now, different times. Okay, let's see what happens, because we got some A's and some B's. Let's see what happens if you were to click A. While this may seem appealing, and I can understand why this was your answer, this is not correct. If you go at different times, you'll meet a lot of people briefly instead of forming deeper relationships. Remember that business will come from those who know you, like you, and trust you. That's easier to do when they see you more consistently. Try again. How sick is that, right? Like, that's exactly how I'd answer it in a live session. So even if you maybe like put the wrong answer, I'm not just saying, nope, wrong, next question. I'm saying, hey, I can understand that, but let me educate you in the process as to what the right answer actually is. So you're always being educated. You can see why this thing took so many years to build. I had to film just an incredible amount of content. What if they give this answer? What if they give this answer? So let's see what happens if you say B. Boom, you nailed it. By going at the same times on a consistent schedule, you'll form deeper and more meaningful relationships, and it'll be easier for your schedule too. Next question, how should you go about seeking business from these people? So much of the course is in this interactive way. It's super fun. You've never seen training like it. It's a blast to work through. So that's the interactive nature. Now, we also have a little bit more intimate podcast studio style, where that's mainly for the mindset coaching. Grit. It is my absolute favorite thing to talk about, which because I wanted this to be a little like, hey, this is me and you. We're talking about mindset right now. This is some serious stuff. And this was filmed in an awesome podcast studio. And these are my 10 aspects of building a bulletproof mindset. And a lot of people love to just sign in a few minutes in the morning, get some mindset bump, or come to the live Mindset Monday call. So that's the mindset aspect in the podcast studio. Now, I do have a master's in education. You know, I have some teaching style stuff in here too. So we also have the interactive whiteboard. So let's say you're going to the Working with Buyers course. Well, first thing you would do is go to the File Vault and download the Working with Buyers transaction roadmap. And the whole course is based on this. What are the 12 steps to working with buyers? And the whole 3-hour Working with Buyers course is a deep breakdown of every single one of these 12 steps. So we see, for example, step 2 is getting the representation agreement signed, which you better be doing at the end of that buyer consult. And you better be having buyer consults. So if we were to do a deep dive on step 2, you would see, okay, now we're on step 2 and we're talking about how to get that rep agreement signed. And I'm in the room with the interactive whiteboard and I'm teaching you all of the things and really doing a deep dive just on this one single aspect. What is a rep agreement? Why is it important? What do you say? And how do you plant the seeds to get a rep agreement signed without seeming like all you care about is a commission? Because that's not all you care about, right? You got to give them a compelling reason to say, where's the pen? Will you be my agent? I'm excited to sign this thing. How do you do it? This is exactly how you do it. So we have that classroom style instruction. We have the same thing where I break down the scripts. So when we have the script mastery, and let's say I'm going through the ABC script overview, right? I'm showing you every detail about this script. Hey, check out this word. When you say this phrase, here's exactly how you need to say it. I mean, it is so gritty and tactical. You've never seen something this detailed before. It's an awesome, awesome breakdown. Now, let me show you the interactive call simulator. Because I do really value role playing. I think doing role playing with a script role play partner is really important. But the phone call simulator, sometimes you might just want a fun way to try it on your own. So let's say we're doing open houses, which I love. Oh, I forgot to show you one. Live. So let's say you've taken the open house course and now you want to see what is it like to do an open house perfectly. Well, the first thing you would do is, I'm nearing the end of my time, so I'm going quickly. You'd probably watch my open house setup video where I show you, hey, here I am. I was literally at one of my listings and I brought my film crew there. Here's exactly what I bring to an open house to set up. Digital sign in, analog sign in. Do you bring snacks? Yes or no? Where should you put the flyers? How do you get people to sign in without giving you a crap about it, right? All of the things that you need to know. Should I play music? Where do I put the speaker? What kind of music should I play? Like it's literally so detailed. And then what you can do is go to the open house demo videos and literally watch like you're standing in the open house with me. Watch me have these conversations. Listen to me use the same exact scripts that I teach you to hear how they're delivered in a conversational way, and watch this conversation end in a buyer consult. Yes, these people knew they were being recorded. They agreed to it. Right? I mean, it's like literally you could not get better training. It's like you're standing there with me, like you're an agent on my team, and I'm saying, hey, just watch, be a fly in the wall. See how it's done. And that's how you go crush with open houses. So we have the live on-site demo videos. Now, let's say you're going to do the virtual call simulator. And this is the last thing I'm going to show you. Well, the first thing you would do is download the At the Open House script. So you see, here's what you say, how you say it, when you say it, so you know exactly what to say when they walk into the open house to start building a relationship with them. Now, let's say you're going to go to the call simulator. You're going to do the At the Open House script. Good luck. Here we go.
Hello.
So the prospect walks in, they open the door. Hello. Now you, the agent, have 4 responses you can choose from. And these are very common responses. Now, if you want to take the cheat sheet, look at the script. It's open book, right? So the cool thing is, remember, gang, it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. So before you commit to an answer, you can scroll through your mouse and say, hey, what does this sound like?
Hi, come on in. Hi, come on in. My name is Rob. Great to meet you. Hi, do you have an agent here with you? Hi, feel free to have a look around.
You know how long it took to record all those? Long time. Worth it. So B is the right answer.
Hi, come on in. My name is Rob. Great to meet you.
Thanks so much. I'm Linda.
So you gave the right answer. Now the prospect says the next thing, and you're going to see that the next thing you do is ask an open-ended question. So let's ask it.
It's so nice to meet you, Linda. Do you currently live in the area or are you from out of town?
I'm renting for now. I moved here for work a little while ago, and I'm looking to buy. But I have a long drive now, and I want to move around here to be closer to work.
All right, now we're getting tactical. Now what you should do is take the off-ramp. She says, I want to move to get closer to work. So what's the right answer?
Oh, that's great. What kind of work do you do?
Okay. Now, what most agents would say is probably something like this.
Great. Do you have any questions about the area? That's great. Do you like the style of homes around this area?
Because they're not even listening. Now, if you give the right answer, the conversation continues. But what if you give the wrong answer? The call hangs up because you didn't execute the script and you probably would have not converted that prospect. So the only way to win the game is to keep giving the right answer. So if you really get to the end of all of these, you're going to really understand, how does the master language, what does Rob sound like when he executes these strips perfectly? How do you sound conversational while mastering this piece of paper? To prove to you, hey, you can read a script and sound totally natural. So gang, Earth to Orbit, I mean, it is absolutely the best training you've ever seen in your life. And if you are an agent in Epique Realty, you're going to be getting it for free. We're going to be rolling it out within a couple weeks. Now, if you are not an agent in Epique Realty and you're like, hey, I want to engage with Earth to Orbit and it's super affordable anyway, here's what I want you to do. Don't tell anyone, okay? I want you to email my team at 𝘍𝙗𝙬𝙗@𝘍𝙗𝙬𝙗.com. And I want the subject line to be discount. And just say, hey, I was on the agent circle call. Can I get the discount? And I'm going to send you a discount code. Okay. If you are part of Epique Realty, yes, this is literally all going to be free. Okay. And you're also going to get discounts on additional levels, because that's the level of membership where everyone gets the coaching. There's also group coaching with my coaches. You can do group coaching with me personally. You can do one-on-one coaching with me, and you're going to have options to invest in that at a discounted rate as well. And again, if you're not part of Epique, email my team at 𝘍𝙗𝙬𝙗@robstein.com, subject line discount. I'm going to send you a discount code not publicized anywhere else that you can still take advantage of it as a thank you for investing your time in being here today. As I close out and give it back to Jay, I just want to say I am beyond excited to be able to show Earth to Orbit to the world, to help so many agents achieve success. And if you commit, I promise I will not let you fail. I'm super stoked for this. It is my passion, and I love y'all. I want to help you. Okay, so thank you for your time today. And Jay, back to you, brother.
Man, Rob, I can't even tell you. Well, first of all, everyone here, we've been keeping this under the lid for literally months. We couldn't say a word about any of this stuff, but I'm so glad this is the grand unveiling here today. As you can see, this platform is just on fire. I mean, it is amazing. He literally thought through, Rob and his team thought through every aspect of the whole entire time. I particularly love the role playing part of it. That's just so cool. One of the biggest, and I think, issues a lot of agents really can't overcome is a lot of times it's just finding the right time, right people to have the conversation. Now you can at least start something and of course graduate to actually doing maybe a real life role playing session. And that's the next step. But it is a phenomenal way to get all agents engaged right now and around their schedule for that matter. And that's why this is so powerful. But this whole platform is just so well thoroughly thought out. And again, super excited about it. Been holding off on this for so many months at this point. So I'm so appreciative of Rob coming on board here today and explaining everything here on the Agent Circle. Now, if you guys want to reach out to Rob, he already dropped his email. I think, Rob, you want to drop your information there? So if anyone wants to reach out to you and get some more information on the program?
So that would be email, gang, is going to be 𝘍𝙗𝙬𝙗@robstein.com.
Mm-hmm.
The website is earth-to-orbit-training.com. Now, there are some newer levels of membership and some new bells and whistles that are still being added, but earth-to-orbit-training.com shows you all the details about the website. But if you're on this call, don't pay for it, because again, if you're in Epique, you're getting it for free. If you're not in Epique, email me so I can give you the discount code to put in there. Okay.
Well, Rob, my friend, I appreciate you so much. Jamie, you still on the call. Thank you for popping in today. On behalf of Walter, Don Loading, she's not here today. Mr. 𝘎𝙧𝙬𝙗, he's also not here. He's actually somewhere in a mountain somewhere enjoying his vacation. And then, of course, we have Angela Teller, also our co-host here. So once again, thank everyone for joining us this week. Mr. Rob Stein will be back on the Agent Circle again here. We'll definitely let you know when he comes back on. He has a lot of stuff that he definitely needs to break down and share with everyone here. So we'll definitely have him back on here in the near future here. We'll make sure we get that information out. But in any case, appreciate everyone for joining us for this Agent Circle Friday. We'll see you guys in the next one, which is next Friday. Thank you, everyone.
Later, y'all.
Thanks.